Hi, Andrew here from mynexttablet.com. Today with an unboxing of the brand new Amazon Fire HD 10 2023 edition that for the first time supports an active pen. Alright, let's start the unboxing of the Amazon Fire HD 10 2023 generation that is available in the United States and Europe now, starting at $150 or 165 euros. Inside the box, which looks like a typical Amazon tablet box, is the tablet first, which also looks very typical to an Amazon tablet. Then we get a charger, which is nice to see nowadays, and a USB-C to Type-A cable, as well as a quick start guide. And that's it, there's nothing more inside the box. And as usual, since I shot the first part of this video about a day has passed already, I ran some benchmarks, watched a bit Netflix, played PUBG Mobile, and yeah, just played a bit with this tablet, and now I can tell you a bit more about it, my first impressions. And we start with the design, which is not amazing at all, because it is completely made of plastic and it feels like a very cheap plastic. Especially after using a tablet like even the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite 2022 or even the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8, after using such a device, this one feels very cheap, just because everything feels like very cheap tablet. However, on a positive note, Amazon says that this tablet is more robust, more rugged than most tablets. Apparently, it's 2.7 times more rugged than the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8, which is a direct competitor. Interestingly, Amazon now chooses to compare itself to Samsung. In the past, they always compared themselves to an iPad, but well, Samsung is a more direct competitor, especially in this cheaper price range. So we are getting a 5 megapixel camera on the front, which by the way did improve compared to the predecessor, which had 2 megapixels or 3 megapixels. We're getting a 5 megapixel camera on the back, no LED flash or anything. The Amazon logo over here. On the top there are 2 speakers, which are fine, nothing like world changing or so, but whoops, for this price they're fine. Luckily this tablet is so robust. Then we get a power button, volume rocker, USB-C 2.0 port, so you cannot connect the external monitors. Then we're getting a headphone jack, which is always nice to see with cheap tablets. And what I really like is that you can put in a micro SD card without using these pin tools. You can just use your finger very easily and put in a micro SD. It can be up to 1 terabyte in size. And that's it. There's nothing else around this tablet. And then we can get to the screen. But before we get to the screen, the weight has changed by about 30 grams. It now weighs 433.6 grams and it is 8.6 millimeters thick. It's still quite thick to recent Samsung tablets like the S9 series, but it got a little bit thinner compared to the predecessor. 8.6 centimeters, 8.6 millimeters are pretty good. Now we get to the display, which has not changed compared to the predecessor. It's 10.1 inches in size. It has a resolution of 1920 by 1200, and I always think that Full HD on 10 inches is pretty good. It's certainly fine, and it's good enough in sharpness. Everything else, colors, brightness, all of that is fine. First I thought it's not laminated, but actually it is laminated, but reflections are just a bit easier to be seen than with more premium tablets. So I'm guessing that Amazon just didn't apply any coating, or at least not any good coating, to prevent reflections. Besides that, the screen is pretty good. You can watch Netflix with HD quality. The same goes for Prime Video, of course, because it has a wideband level of L1. So it will be a fine tablet for watching movies and TV shows, and also YouTube once you install that app. Now let's get to the only new exciting feature of this tablet, and that is the optional stylus. This is the same stylus that you can buy for the more expensive Amazon Fire Max 11. It costs $35, so it's actually also quite a cheap stylus, and it is a USI 2 stylus that also works with the Google Pixel tablet and many Chromebooks, either Chrome OS tablets or Chrome OS convertible notebooks. And the pen works fine, basically the same as on the Amazon Fire Max and also basically the same as on the Google Pixel tablet. The pen works fine, like I said, but it is certainly not as precise as the S Pen from Samsung is, or the Apple Pencil, or even the Microsoft Surface Pen. You can see me handwriting here and also drawing. All of that is fine, it works. It just doesn't look as good and doesn't look as precise as on a more premium tablet. But actually, considering that this tablet and the pen are quite cheap, you're getting a tablet with active pen support for under $200 here, which is quite unique and quite a highlight, because for the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite 2022 edition, which is the next best tablet with pen, you usually have to pay at least $100 more. So this is quite an affordable tablet with active pen support, and something we just haven't seen before, especially not from a known brand. So the stylus is not perfect, but it works fine. Then let's get to the internal hardware. Inside the Fire HD 10 runs the MediaTek MT8186 processor together with 3 GB of RAM and 32 or 64 GB of internal storage, and you cannot get it with 4G or 5G as is common from Amazon. My Geekbench 5 benchmark comparison here is very interesting because you can see that the processing power is better than of the HD10 2021, which is the previous generation. However, the last Fire HD 10's graphics performance is better than in the new 2023 generation. That's quite interesting. And the same goes for the Samsung Galaxy Tab A8. While Amazon's processing power is a bit better, the graphics performance is a bit weaker. And obviously all of these tablets are the entry-level tablets, and tablets like the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 series, or even a little bit more expensive tablets like the Xiaomi Pad 6 and so on, they are way more powerful. Of course, we are playing in the lowest league here. I was playing PUBG Mobile. You can see it runs quite well here. It looks okay, but you can only set the graphics to HD. You cannot select HDR or Ultra HD graphics, and that means this is not a high-end gaming tablet at all. It actually can be kind of a gaming tablet. You can install lower-end games or play games like PUBG Mobile with lower graphics settings. All of that will work fine, but it's certainly not a high-end gaming tablet. So only something if you don't have high expectations to gaming performance. And then let's get to the software. On the Fire HD 10 runs Fire OS, which is the own operating system from Amazon, which is based on Android 11. So it's not the newest Google Android. In fact, it's not Google Android. It's the open source version of Android that Amazon customizes. So it does not have much to do with Google's Android anymore. And in fact, Amazon is relatively good with updates. They provide security updates and bug fixes for quite some time. So regarding these updates, the Fire HD 10 is pretty good if you're concerned about security and so on. Besides that, the interface is completely different compared to Google's Android. Everything from Amazon is deeply integrated into the operating system. Kindle is pre-installed, Amazon Music, of course, Audible, their Photos app. You can use their popular voice assistant on here, and it works really well, just like with the predecessor. Nothing has changed regarding that. You can use the Amazon App Store to install apps. There are some apps like Microsoft Office apps, OneNote, some handwriting apps, quite a lot of games actually. A selection of games is pretty good, but overall the selection is much lower than on the Google Play Store. We are also missing YouTube. This is just a shortcut basically to the YouTube website. So it's missing a proper YouTube app, it's missing Google Chrome, it's missing Gmail, it's missing Google Maps. All Google apps are missing. Instead, you get Amazon apps like the Silk browser, which is the browser from Amazon. It works fine, so you don't have to install the Google Play Store necessarily. For many simple tasks and so on, you can just use the Amazon Silk browser. It works fine, nothing bad about it. But of course, it's an Android tablet after all, and personally, I would want to install the Google Play Store, and that's what I will do after this unboxing video. I will use it a little bit like a user would without using Google Apps who just buys this Amazon tablet without wanting to install anything extra. But then I will install the Google Play Store, Chrome, YouTube, and so on. It should be pretty easy, at least if you've done it before or if you're willing to read like an article about it. It's nothing I would give my grandmother who doesn't know much about technology, but if you're able to read an article and install some APKs, then it will be fine. And yeah, so much about the software. Basically Amazon's Android, but I would always install those Google apps. All right, and that's my first impression of the Amazon Fire HD 10 2023 generation. My first impression is good only regarding the pen. The pen is not even amazing, not even great, but it works, and this is basically at the moment the cheapest tablet with active pen support. The next one from Samsung, which is the S6 Lite 2022 generation, costs usually at least $100 more. Now there is the Galaxy Tab A9 Plus that was spotted in India with an S Pen, apparently, but I have not seen any unboxings or so far. I will, of course, get the A9 Plus as soon as it is available for me to buy, but it's not yet, so I cannot say that much about it yet. It will be an interesting comparison though. Subscribe for that. And yeah, regarding everything else, this tablet is not that exciting. The design basically doesn't change compared to the predecessor. The display performance, yeah, the processing power is a bit better, but the graphics performance is a bit weaker. So not much has changed compared to the predecessor. And that's why, besides the pen support, it's not that exciting. The price actually is not that exciting either, because not much has changed. Now it will get interesting on Amazon Prime Day, Black Friday. On those days usually Amazon gives really nice discounts, and then these tablets get really interesting. But on normal days for the normal price, it seems fine, but I'm not that excited to review it because it is quite boring, to be fair. So much about the Amazon Fire HD 10, the 2023 edition. Subscribe to the channel for my final review, and also check out my review of the Xiaomi Redmi Pad SE, which is priced very similarly, and that one has a metal body and even a 90 Hz display.